common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Duo Live show here at Learn Crypto, your one-stop shop for crypto and stock technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
Yeah, Todd forgot his name there for a second. I mean, the chart's been moving so much, you forgot the name. Todd's over here. We've got to get him checked for dementia or something.
Been a little busy.
Well, guys, a lot of activity going on in the markets. We did know that gold went to all-time highs yesterday. We were saying, hey, I don't think I would be buying up here. We saw all across the globe lines up out the door to buy the all-time high on the most expensive asset known to mankind. It hit over $30 trillion in market cap, and that's when they decided to buy. Well, historically, when gold does major tops, that is usually when Bitcoin is at a low and is going to play catch-up in a big way. We saw this back in April of 2025 when gold topped out at 3,500 and Bitcoin was 74,000. Gold then went sideways until August, doing absolutely nothing but going down and to the right, and Bitcoin went to new all-time highs. Does history repeat itself? Do you think gold is topping? Do you think some of that rotation will find its way into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other assets?
I probably agree with that. I mean, I've been talking about GDX, GLD trying to make a top. GDX down 7% today. So, and if you're in the Discord, we are starting to talk about buying some stuff down here. I've been bearish for that top at 126 and a sell signal at 120, 120,700. So we're starting to get a little more interested down here after last night's smash.
Yeah, if you throw them in the screen, we'll go over our handy-dandy CoinGecko real quick. Not much to show as far as individual prices, but I think what's important here is the market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies, 19,257 of them listed on CoinGecko, is only $3.7 trillion. And if you paid attention, yes, gold on the rally overnight went to $30 trillion by itself. That means the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem, all the shit coins, everything could do a 9x and still be less valuable than gold by itself. That's why we think you're still early, and that's why we think Bitcoin does have upside objectives. I think Bitcoin's total market cap now is like 2 trillion or something like that, 2.1 trillion. Gold is worth $30 trillion. We do know that the Bitcoin dominance has fallen a bit here, down to 57.4%. ETH dominance up to 12.5%. I really wouldn't be surprised if the ETH dominance grows to something like 20% while altcoins catch a bid. Now, for any of that to happen, Ethereum's got to go to $5,000 and close above 5,000, probably on the weekly chart. We are $1,200 away from that. Do you think Ethereum ever gets back above 5,000, Todd? Or do you think the bear market is underway and Ethereum is going to fade away into obscurity?
I mean, I think we just got to take our buys and sells on the short-term trades. I think we want to stay still bullish here, but definitely looking for in and outs and try to lower risk and get good entries and good exits.
Well, I guess talking about trades, if you want to take the charts, talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the other large caps. Some of them we have had trades on. I don't know if you want to give away the exact buy, but I guess it's rallied. So here's your freebie. If you're tuning in live right now, you might get some of the calls that members at patreon.com/learncrypto have gotten. Hopefully you took profits up there by yourself, because we sure did. And now we are looking to slowly enter some positions and feel out the markets to see if the low is already in.
Here's our Bitcoin chart. Again, we've had these red cells by our technometer, and the recent one was 120,700. I talked earlier in the week, I thought we'd come back down below that 1095 level. I mentioned 108, 107. We did come down to, what was it, like 103.5 about 4 in the morning. At that point, my technometer did reach 38 reading. I did a snapshot down there. Currently, we're setting a 40.46. So I'm still watching here. I thought maybe stocks might not close that strong and maybe we'd have a little bit of selling for the weekend. But as Nick mentioned, on Ethereum, we'd given sells up there at 40.69, I think the number was, and also gave a sell in the other Discord of 41.40, I think. So we're back down here at 38.38. We bought a little bit lower this morning. And again, just trying to trade the volatility, put money in our pockets, unless this turns into a good low, which it could. I mean, we definitely have came off here on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Charts don't look too bad. That could have been a shakeout and a test this morning. So we do have volume hitting new lows at the morning's low. So a little bit enthused that we're going to try to make a low here. And again, some type of rally. We'll just watch it as it proceeds.
For Ethereum, I think I'm still super long-term bullish just because BitMine continues to buy ETH. They have 3 million ETH now. They want to get 5 million. SharpLink Gaming just raised another $76 or $79 million to be used for Ethereum buybacks and stock buybacks, with the option of those investors to raise another $76 million in the coming weeks and months. So, you know, if these people continue to have conviction, they continue to buy ETH, those will help find higher floor prices for Ethereum. But ultimately, we need new retail into the crypto market, and it is pretty wild that I'm seeing lines around the door to buy the all-time high on gold, and those jewelers are charging a premium on that, which means gold price was like 4,400. I've had information that some of those jeweler places and bullion places were charging 5,000 an ounce, which is absolutely insane. But it's like we always say, the best marketing in anything, in finance, especially in crypto, is green candles. We need some momentum. We need some continued growth in the altcoin markets, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, to get people risk on, to get retail in the markets. And that's where the fun can begin. Because for now, you know who's buying all the cheap tokens, Todd? It's all the institutions. BitMine has bought 3 million, 3% of the total Ethereum supply bought it. And ETH is still under $5,000. Thomas Lee, if he is right, is going to win in a big way, is going to be the next Michael Saylor, and is going to turn into a billionaire after that trade.
Well, we did have some selling by ETFs, I think, overnight. That probably gave us the lower opening today. We'll see if there's any ETF selling today for the weekend. And again, maybe we'll get a pullback here and give us even a decent entry over the weekend or Monday morning once stock markets open.
Well, what's interesting about that is who was actually selling. If you want to kind of elaborate on who was selling within the ETF structure itself, because that was kind of eye-opening to me as well.
I mean, they mentioned, what was it, 500 million, I think, of ETF sales. So that would have been from retail, just getting tired of the weakness, so which is good. I mean, we need to shape some retail out here before we start an uptrend again. So what's up, the Wise Tent?
Yannick says, took calls on coin breaking daily highs. Yeah, we sold Coinbase much higher. I think 369 a share. That's down something like 8 or 11% from there. We got the Wise Tent in here. Jasper's in here saying hi. Jasper says, man, I hope this crash was it for Bitcoin. Hey, we're hoping so as well. Todd hasn't pulled the trigger on Bitcoin, but we did get that oversold technometer, which is a buy signal, something like 3 a.m. our time. So we didn't quite buy that yet. We're waiting and seeing. And then the Wise 10 says, Nick's prophecy of 244,000 Bitcoin can't come soon enough. Here's the thing with that prophecy, Todd. I said that a long time ago, and people looked at me like I was crazy. I said 244,000 by the end of 2025. I said that in something like January of 2025. They looked at me like it's crazy. I just saw Thomas Lee on CNBC or one of these channels yesterday talking about 250,000 by Bitcoin, and they all smiled and loved it, and it's getting shared all over social media. So, you know, hey, at least somebody, the Wise 10 knows I prophesized it first. I also prophesized if Ethereum can catch up to Bitcoin for historical returns, then Bitcoin would be 244,000, Ethereum would be $22,035. So some massive outperformance by Ethereum if it wants to get the dominance chart back in its favor.
Let me show the coin charts. It's a little bit, a lot going on here because Nick's been trading coin extremely well. shit for quite a while now. But I want to first show the green highlights are oversold technometers. You can see there, nice oversold reading, a decent oversold reading, a perfect oversold reading, and then we had one this morning at the opening. So the yellow and purple are momentum buys and sells. That has been chopped around. A momentum type indicator will get chopped in sideways. It wants to buy, break out or break down. So the red is a sell that I was selling for some clients. Nick was giving a sell up there at 370. The green is me showing the oversold technometer today. And again, the momentum sold this morning's low, which I post was on the chart because I think he wanted to be a buyer today. And then if momentum goes long, let's say in the next week or 10 days, then you probably want to double your positions. So that's the way I'm trying to trade, really using the Wyckoff indicators on Bitcoin to try to help trade coin and MicroStrategy and some of these.
/learn crypto. We've been trading Coinbase since May 19th of 2023 and haven't had a single losing trade yet. Not one single losing trade. Now, again, we have been bullish on crypto over that period. So the trend was our friend because we understand when Bitcoin is doing well, Coinbase is doing well, and we played that to our advantage. But still, we traded this. We traded the chop. There's been a lot of chop on Coinbase, especially lately. Not a single losing trade for members of patreon.com/learn crypto since May of 2023 on Coinbase. Pretty solid.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Todd texted me like, hey, you want to go live? And I'm like, man, not really. I just ate my Bitcoin steak and shake burger. The sun's up there trying to watch Pokemon and play video games. But we got to get here and get our community the information. We've been doing some profit trades, profit taking, and we're looking at buybacks. We want to get on here live to help you guys out because we understand in these moments of uncertainty, each and every trade matters. And, of course, when we're not here, a lot of people are panicking. So what else do you got going on the charts, Todd?
First of all, the Wise 10 indicators do not come with the Patreon. We do give a 30% discount. So those are separate for the TradingView indicators. But obviously you've been a longtime supporter. So hit me up and we'll get you access figured out.
Yeah, no, Todd, you bought back some Ethereum a little bit, so it has me looking at my Pengu because Pengu, I do have a 4-hour bullish divergence. We also took profits on that 22% ago. So I'm just like, man, maybe I take another swing on Pengu because it's all free money at this point. You can get back in. The way this works, guys, we bought Pengu. It went up 68%. We took profits. Now it's down 22%. We could buy the exact same number of Pengu tokens back and have 21% of profits sitting in cash in the portfolio. If Pengu goes lower, but we got our tokens, we got our cash, and we still got exposure to a great project. So that's what I'm watching closely. We might take another trade on that as it is giving me a decent little bit of a setup here. But obviously still been weak like many of the other altcoins.
Let me show a few charts here because normally people ask me, what do I think of this coin, that coin, etc. But I think mostly if I give an Ethereum trade, then really can just use that for any of the altcoins you're looking at. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Let's go to, hold on a second. Here's the Zen chart that I've shown here. Technometer picked the lows there nicely 3 times. You can see here we had the jump and the backup. Today was the backup down there at 1050. We're trading 1135. Technometer is not oversold, but definitely relieved the overbought reading. So some more weakness might get an oversold reading over the next 2 or 3 days. But I think that chart per Wyckoff looks pretty damn good. Definitely. I think the Wise Tent mentioned ADA. Another one, I don't know what, the liquidation, what you do with those prices. I mean, if nothing else, that's going to be some type of wave 2 possibly. You do have new lows in volume. Price is trying to hold up here, so that one might not look too bad. Then I think the Zcash chart I got, same type of thing. Divergences at the bottom. You've had definitely some type probably of 5 waves up. today was probably some type of ABC correction ending, and Zcash probably wants to continue higher. And then let's look at XRP real quick. That's one up there around 298 or so. I was saying when I was selling Ethereum, probably should have sold XRP. That one touched in 220. You can see it did get oversold on the liquidation, obviously. But new lows in volume, price still higher. XRP probably, had a lot of the bullishness taken out of that, and that one probably is making a low here as well for some type of rally.
Can you pull up the Aster chart? Aster is one we've been looking for lower levels, and we are down here in our buy zones. But just with the market weakness, we have not given an official buy on Aster. They also have an airdrop coming. I think it was supposed to be on October 14th. They pushed it back to October 20th. So we'll see if that happens. But Aster down here pretty low, but it is flashing a bullish divergence on the 4-hour on both RSI and the technometer. But again, a lot of weakness, and that airdrop in 3 days has me hesitant. Yeah, that was one that every single major influencer was talking about. Everybody was shilling it. Oh my gosh, Aster's going to $5. That's when it was $2 to $2.25. And, we just kept saying we can't be buyers of that. We don't want to chase it. We think it can break below $2 again. Of course, it did that. Market weakness helped that. But now here, my buy zone is 113 to 130, and we're down here at 112, and I just still can't buy it. Still kind of waiting. I just think there might be other opportunities. Like Todd said, if a lot of these TAs are kind of following each other, you might be better off taking a trade on something else just because you don't have the systematic risk of an airdrop coming like Aster in a couple days. Exchanges. So it's not going to kind of follow suit with Todd's technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum or my TA on Pengu. I will say that Pulse Chain activity has gone up a lot by Richard Hart, and hopefully that is a good sign for things to come in the future. So we are long PLS, but we're more in PTGC to get exposure to the blue chips, Surf to get exposure to Crypto Paradise, and we have been trading Peacock lately. We sold Peacock for a big gainer, and now Peacock is down 26%. I'm waiting for an oversold RSI reading on the 1-hour chart. It happened, but it was at 3 a.m. in the morning. Didn't get that. So I'm having some patience to see if it wants to come back down one more time. And we'll probably take another trade on Peacock. Again, we took massive profits on Peacock. It's down 25% since our profit taking. So any kind of re-entry is going to be a good one. That's on Pulse Chain. Yep. Todd was muted, he said. So maybe you guys will be able to hear him now. Nope, still can't hear you. Not on that screen, at least. Todd's going to unplug his microphone and retry it. I don't know. Here's this set up for about 3 live shows, and then it wants to break on us.
Check, check, check. I think I'm back. Shit, we've been fine, and I'm fine again. So
Yep, you're back.
I'm back.
Well, something happened. I wonder how long it was muted or on what you were muted on. But hopefully you guys saw the charts, heard some of what Todd was talking about, what I was talking about, and we get some entries get rolling.
Yes, I think I am fine. So anybody got anything they want to talk about, any charts they want to bring up? Because otherwise, we're going to make this short and sweet.
Time to wake up. Time to wake up says every time we mention PLS, something breaks. It's like, yeah, it's the curse of Pulse Chain right now. Can't talk about Pulse Chain. Otherwise, YouTube's like, nope, censor it. Got to gatekeep it. Can't do it. Richard Hart's a scammer. What are the? I want you to look at the BNB chart real quick. We have big proponents of CZ, Binance Smart Chain since day one, 2 cycles ago. But let's look at the BNB chart because it has been a major outperformer. It had a gold-like run before gold ran, but it has given up some of those gains. Like, what do you see on the chart? Do you think there's a pork blaster building up here, or do you think we have free fall to go on BNB?
I mean, technometer 41.72. I mean, really levels down around 40 have been buy levels. So again, possibly made a low this morning. I think the key is, did we make a low this morning, or are we going to bleed out a little bit here the next day or two before we make a good low? I'm going to go back to BBAI just because of that, since you didn't hear what I said. I know when I brought this up the other day, I mentioned I'd be a buyer of that when I get bullish on the general market, which I would say somewhat is happening now. So I think BBAI down here at 730 probably, again, I'd probably nibble here, and then I would be a buyer of some more if we take out the low at 710. This morning's low. I think that one's going to see some type of rally, and again, position for the rally, and then to see what happens once we get it started.
And then set yourself free. Said you're only muted for about 2 to 3 minutes, so not terrible.
I don't know about the small caps. I mean, definitely been outperforming. I don't know if that's like a Litecoin rally, meaning the end of it is, the rally is near, since they're chasing now the small caps. Probably catching a lot of people that's been short forever, because small caps have been underperformer. I know Tom Lee's been all over the small caps, so I'm not sure there. I'm not sure about stocks. I mean, we had at 4 in the morning, Dow was down 400, and we opened when it went up 200. So I don't know if stocks are making another low. I'm going to have one more run. I showed the other day my indicators on the technometer. We're oversold on the Dow, et cetera, looking like maybe we'd still work higher. So we might get another run in stocks, and that would give us, I'm sure, a nice rally in crypto here. So.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to fight through and decide to make trades the next couple of weeks, because I think some more clarity comes to the market by the end of this month. You got the Fed looking to probably do another rate cut. Will it be 0.25? Will it be 0.5? We shall see. We'll see if they are dovish or hawkish on additional rate cuts, like is in their mandate. So the mandate is saying that they probably should cut more, but we'll wait and see what Powell has to say. And then, of course, at the end of this month, there's some kind of APEC meeting or something where Trump and the Chinese president will be interacting with each other. So maybe a trade deal or some kind of resolution comes to that, which the market would like as well. So, we're going to be here. We're going to continue trading. Thankfully, we took some profits, and we're looking for re-entries. And look, historically, we should have fun the remainder of this year. It's just going to be getting over these hurdles and this volatility with everything going on around us.
Let's go back to that hex chart, because we had this one up a couple days ago, because again, we're right back here to the jump and the backup. I got to change a few readings to get the tech and the OP to work, but that one right back to what should be some support levels. So, and let me go here real quick to the GDX. I really think probably just made a wave 5 out of this, what was a wave 4 here. So I'm just guessing that gold and silver has topped out for, let's say, a couple months here, and could have a pretty good size correction. And then I would think it's still probably onward and upward for metals. But as Nick was saying, sentiment's getting a little bit wild on the metals, and that's a pretty big sell-off today. So I think that's probably a start of a good sell-off.
Similar to that, I had the same triangle breakout looking for it to happen in August. My measured move target was 3,900 to 4,000, and I always said, hey, you could have a blow off top to like 4,200. Of course, we know we had a blow off top to 4,400 yesterday. People's trampling each other in Vietnam to get gold, and that's usually a pretty good top signal. You also had Peter Schiff talking his shit yesterday, saying that Bitcoin is going to zero and gold's going to 10,000 or whatever. That's also a pretty good top indicator. And this could just be a short-term top, but I'm leaning with Todd that was a major top. We're going to see some kind of consolidation or correction for precious metals, gold in particular. And last time this happened was in April. And what happened, guys? Bitcoin was 74,000. Once gold consolidated, and from April to August, Bitcoin went from 74,000 to 125,000 new all-time highs. So if history repeats itself, you should be rooting for a drop or consolidation in gold, which should lead a rotation into Bitcoin. And I think this time even a bigger rotation into Ethereum, just because I do think the Ethereum Strategic Reserve takes a lot less capital to get momentum going in the markets, and in particular, the altcoin market, which is what all these players want to see. You know, Coinbase wants to see altcoins because altcoins brings retail brings revenue. So let's see how it plays out, but me and Todd both believe that was probably a pretty strong short-term top on gold.
Let me go back to TLT because I did give an update on this like 10 days ago. This is a triangle that I was looking to resolve lower, which means higher interest rates, which doesn't look like that makes any sense, but sometimes these markets don't make any sense. But I will say that back here at the previous high on September 16th, I thought that was a good high, and I said you could be short with a stop up here near the highs. That would have been a small loser. I still think possibly we're still ending this E wave because you've had a pretty big run in volume. Price is still relatively struggling. So I am still on the lookout for lower TLT prices. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Let me run the disclaimer. Let's get this out of the way real quick for our regulators.
There's a high degree of risk involved in trading stocks and cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
And we got Hexbull in the house saying, let's go. Bamboo Ben confirming that we can hear you now, which is great. And then Yannick said, Todd, I got stopped out of CORZ. How is it looking?
Actually, I added on to that position for a few clients that are in that. So let me go into cores. That one did have a quick break back down below our entry. The green arrow was my entry. The purple was the momentum scan. So you can see momentum scan caught that rally, lost a little bit on the next rally or on the next decline, and then got long again. So I can see you getting stopped out. I mean, you do have earnings coming up on the 23rd, no, November 5th. But if I'm right on Ethereum and Bitcoin and things here, I think probably cores will put itself back together here and still continue higher. So I still like cores. Oh yeah, that'll happen. Got to have risk management. So let's look at JOBY. I'm showing that it is. I'll double check that. Let me go over JOBY here real quick. I think I mentioned the other day I didn't have much to add to this chart. Volume went to new highs there 4 days ago. See, I don't have much to add on Joby. I would expect sideways for higher, but no ideas there.
I just want to shout out everybody that follows us on YouTube, on Twitter, on everything else. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being active. Understand that you guys hitting the like button, the share button, the subscribe button, leaving comments on Twitter, whether you agree with us or disagree with us, that all helps the algorithms, which means that you are seeing more, we are seeing more, and our market predictions can play out better. Because people don't understand, crypto is still a relatively small ecosystem. So if a whole community is getting behind certain levels, it's going to help those levels support, and we can work higher together or work down together as well. So that's what we're seeing. So shout out to everybody supporting us. Shout out to everybody who's making money with us. And we're going to continue to hopefully do so. And I think if gold topped out, that's a good time for us here in crypto to take advantage and hopefully get some of those people to roll onto the digital gold, Bitcoin. And then Yannick wants to look at the Pengu chart. I'll pull that up. I don't know if you have that as well, Todd, or not. Yannick said you might be muted again. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully my chart is up and hopefully you guys can hear me. This is Pengu. This is the one that we sold over here at 3 cents. We did buy the bloody dip down here at half cents. Sold it the next day for big gains, 68% gains, 2.6 cents. Looking for a drawdown, and now we have gotten that. It's down 21% from our profit sell. We are flashing a bullish divergence on the 4-hour. We do have a bullish divergence on the technometer still as well. So, you know, I'm kind of watching this. I haven't jumped back in just yet, even though I probably should, because even if it goes lower, I can say, hey, guys, we made profits. We bought back the same number of tokens, and we got 21% in cash for other opportunities. But I'm trying to find a good risk-free entry here, and so far we are close, but not quite there. But this is kind of the chart. If you're really bullish on Pengu, I think this is a good opportunity, and especially if you took our profit shade, then you're not really getting hurt here, even if you grab just the same number of tokens. Don't use all your cash into the position just yet.
I tried to check my mic, and I think it's working again. I got an expensive blue mic. I don't know why the hell I am struggling with that today, but I'm back. I guess that's about all I got going on. Let me check a couple stock positions here. ASTS got downgraded today. That's one I said was probably a little toppy. I don't have much else to add.
Yeah, we just wanted to hop on here quickly and let you know we're not panicking. We actually have some cash. We're starting to deploy it. And to join us at patreon.com/learncrypto. There is free membership over there if you check it out. But I'm telling you, for the $1 a day to sign up and get in the private Discord, you're going to make your money. We're going to be helpful. And even if you don't take every trade that we take, you're still going to get our opinions. And those can help, be one tool in your toolbox to help you make better decisions in crypto and in stocks. We talk about stocks in there a lot as well.
Let me take it over one more time. Zora's in front of us, Yannick. I mean, that one to me looks like it's ready to go higher here soon. So if you're long that, I'd stay long that one. And then Litecoin, we did not go over. Litecoin, I know I told you I wanted to see something break that 89.90 level. And I think I even mentioned 85. So you've got new low in the volume here as of this morning. Again, that one bottomed or going to be bottoming. Technometer 40.31, near oversold. The last oversold reading was right there at 102, 103 before the last surge. So I would think Litecoin bottoming here as well.
Yeah, I want you to check out Wrapped Bitcoin on Pulse Chain if you're able to get that by chance. I don't know if that's on TradingView or not.
Yeah, let me, I'll look for that here, but that'll take me a little bit, so I probably won't show that live right now.
Yeah, maybe we can look at that on the next one. I think that's about it, guys. We kind of covered everything we wanted to cover. Wanted to hop on here real quick. It is Friday, and we're watching how the stocks close very closely. If stocks close red across the board, that might be tough for Bitcoin to have a green weekend just because a lot of people will be hesitant and scared. So look for stocks to either close neutral or in the green. That would be nice. And I know that's coming very soon, isn't it, Todd, or that just happened? What time is it? Where am I?
It's 2:34, 25 minutes to go.
Yep, and right now they are still green. So root for stocks to close green if you're rooting for Bitcoin and Ethereum to potentially have an easier time this weekend. If they're red, Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of games being played on the low liquidity weekends after a red stock close.
I know, Dow's up 311. It was down over 400 there, 4 in the morning when I woke up. So NASDAQ up 143. So have a good weekend. And if anything wild this weekend, I might jump on by myself. Otherwise, probably be back here Monday.
Yeah, I remember I used to have a great little outro. I need to go back to our old videos to see what it was, but it's something to go along the line with hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Join us at patreon.com. And remember to stay tuned for your daily updates right here at Learn Crypto.
Later.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.